The world's truly legendary victories do not rely on a simple breakdown of brute force. They build masterfully calculated traps that completely outwit massive opposing armies. When we think of elite military power, we imagine heavy frontal charges and flashing swords. But true, absolute battlefield dominance belongs to the masterminds of history's greatest strategic minds. These clever individuals manipulated geography, logistics, and psychology to secure total victory. Today we are counting down 10 of history's absolute greatest and most brilliant military strategists. We will look closely at exactly how they outmaneuvered entire legions and secured their legacy. Before we dive in, please like and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now. Hitting that big subscribe button helps us bring you more high-quality history videos. Do not forget to turn on the notification bell for your daily history fix. Let's start our global countdown with number 10, which takes us to ancient China. Number 10 is the legendary military philosopher and author of the art of war, Sun Tzu. The brilliant strategist served the kingdom of Wu during a chaotic era of fractured warring states. He realized that raw military numbers mattered far less than absolute psychological manipulation and deception. Sun Tzu taught his commanders to avoid the enemy's strengths and strike exclusively at their structural weaknesses. He pioneered the use of extensive spy networks to gather vital intelligence before a single sword clanged. His brilliant treatise laid down the eternal framework that the supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. His strategic principles are still studied intensively by modern military academies and global corporate leaders today. He remains an undying global symbol of pure intellectual supremacy over raw physical violence on campaigns. Next up at number 9 is the breathtaking Carthaginian tactical mastermind Hannibal Barca. He launched a brilliant and completely unexpected invasion of Italy by marching elephants over the frozen Alps. The Roman Republic deployed its most massive battle legions to crush his fast-moving mercenary army. Hannibal executed the ultimate strategic masterclass at the historic Battle of Cannae using an asymmetric formation. He deliberately placed his weakest infantry units in the center and allowed them to slowly retreat on purpose. As the overconfident Roman legions rushed forward into the pocket, Hannibal's elite cavalry closed the trap from behind. His double envelopment strategy completely surrounded and eliminated over 70,000 Roman soldiers in a single afternoon. He maintained a terrifying military campaign inside enemy territory for over a decade without any outside reinforcements. His unmatched tactical geometry earned him a permanent reputation as the father of modern military strategy. Number 8 takes us to the ancient classical world with the Macedonian king Philip II. He lived during a chaotic era where the Greek city-states dominated regional warfare through traditional hoplites. Philip possessed an almost supernatural talent for long-term military reorganization and weapon innovation. He completely replaced the old short spears with a massive 18-foot wooden pike called the sarissa. He arranged his soldiers into a dense, unstoppable formation known historically as the Macedonian phalanx. He then integrated this heavy infantry with rapid elite cavalry charges to create the world's first combined arms force. His brilliant strategic planning transformed a fractured backward kingdom into an absolute global military superpower. His innovative system laid the direct structural foundation for his famous son Alexander to conquer the known world. Number 7, we look at the breathtaking defensive strategy of the Roman general Fabius Maximus. The Roman Republic was facing total structural annihilation after Hannibal repeatedly destroyed their main frontline armies. Fabius realized that meeting the Carthaginian genius in a direct pitched battle was absolute suicide for Rome. He invented a brand new defensive approach known historically today as the Fabian strategy of attrition warfare. He completely refused to engage Hannibal in major battles while shadowing his army from safe mountain ridges. His small mobile units systematically cut off the enemy's foraging parties and destroyed their vital supply lines. The Roman politicians initially mocked his cautious methods, calling him the delayer in absolute political contempt. However, his grinding strategy slowly exhausted Hannibal's forces and preserved the structural survival of Rome. This legendary campaign remains the ultimate historical masterclass in winning wars through strategic patience and defense. Number 6 takes us to the spectacular rise of the French military genius Napoleon Bonaparte. He completely revolutionized European warfare by introducing the rapid and independent army corps system. Instead of marching his massive forces in a single slow column, he split them into smaller self-sustaining units. These separate divisions would march over different roads at blistering speeds to completely confuse enemy scouts. They would then rapidly converge at a single critical choke point to overwhelm the enemy before they could react. Napoleon used this lightning-fast strategic maneuver to utterly dismantle the combined coalitions of Europe. At the Battle of Austerlitz, he intentionally exposed his right flank to lure the enemy into a fatal trap. He then launched a massive surprise assault straight through the weakened center to shatter the entire opposing army. His brilliant calculation of time, speed, and human psychology transformed him into an absolute legend of military history. We have reached the middle position for today's countdown of history's ultimate strategic masterminds. Before we reveal the top 5, please like this video and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles. Your daily support helps us spend more time researching these incredible historical survival stories. Leave a comment right below about which historic strategist has shocked you the most so far. Now let us jump straight to number 5 on our list of legendary tactical ambitions. Number 5 is the brilliant Chinese statesman and strategist Zhuge Liang of the Three Kingdoms era. He served the kingdom of Shu and became a legendary icon of psychological warfare and resource management. Zhuge Liang frequently found himself facing massive numerical odds against the wealthy rival forces of Cao Cao. He famously executed the unbelievable empty fort strategy by throwing open his gates while playing a peaceful lute on the walls. The opposing general panicked and retreated, assuming the defenseless scene was an elaborate ambush trap. He also invented advanced logistical tools like the wooden ox mechanical wheelbarrow to transport grain over rugged mountains. His unshakable calm and deceptive calculations allowed a smaller kingdom to completely resist massive imperial invasions. He proved that absolute psychological manipulation can defeat the most powerful armies on Earth completely. Moving to number 4, we look at the magnificent asymmetric warfare strategies of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. He was born into a regional landscape completely dominated by the massive wealth and armies of the Mughal Empire. Shivaji realized that his small infantry forces could never survive a traditional open field battle against imperial cannons. He pioneered the deadly use of Ganimi Kava, which was a highly sophisticated system of rapid guerrilla warfare. He utilized the thick jungles and rocky hill forts of the Western Ghats mountain range to outmaneuver invaders. His fast-moving light cavalry units would launch sudden, devastating hit-and-run strikes on heavy imperial supply lines. They would then instantly vanish back into the mountain mist before the enemy could organize a counterattack. He systematically bled the massive empire's treasury dry through decades of relentless, uncatchable mobility. His brilliant strategic vision allowed him to build a massive independent kingdom right under the nose of a global superpower. Number 3 takes us to the vast open steppes with the Mongol commander Subutai the Valiant. He served as the primary strategic mastermind behind the sweeping conquests of the great Genghis Khan. Subutai directed massive armies across thousands of miles of foreign terrain simultaneously using a complex courier network. He operated a highly sophisticated intelligence service that mapped out enemy political rivalries and terrain months in advance. He completely broke traditional military rules by coordinating multi-divisional attacks across entire countries with clockwork precision. During his famous European campaign, his cavalry units completely crushed two massive rival Christian armies in just 2 days. He utilized rapid horse archer maneuvers and false retreats to lure heavy European knights into muddy swamp traps. He successfully conquered over 30 separate nations and won 65 pitched battles during his legendary career. He remains historically recognized as one of the most logistically brilliant and undefeated generals to ever exist. At number 2, we look at the legendary Roman conqueror and master politician, Julius Caesar. He faced a massive and deeply fortified coalition of united tribes during his famous campaigns in Gaul. Caesar combined unmatched engineering speed with absolute tactical audacity to shock his opponents repeatedly. At the Siege of Alesia, he found himself heavily outnumbered and surrounded by a massive barbarian relief army. Instead of retreating, he ordered his legions to build an incredible double line of massive wooden fortifications. The inner wall kept the besieged garrison trapped while the outer wall defended against the massive incoming forces. He personally ran to the front lines wearing his distinct red cloak to inspire his exhausted legionnaires during the crisis. His brilliant dual siege strategy successfully broke both enemy armies simultaneously and secured the conquest of Gaul. His unparalleled combination of structural engineering and battlefield speed changed the course of Roman history forever. Finally, we reach number 1 on our list, which takes us to the ancient kingdom of Macedon. Number 1 is the absolute peak of total geopolitical and military strategy, Alexander the Great. He inherited his father's highly disciplined army and weapon innovations to launch a campaign to conquer Asia. Alexander did not just win battles, he systematically dismantled the entire economic and naval infrastructure of his enemies. During the Siege of Tyre, he spent months building an incredible half-mile long stone causeway through the ocean to reach the island fort. He neutralized the massive Persian navy by capturing all their land bases and coastal ports one by one on foot. At the Battle of Gaugamela, he diagnosed a tiny gap in the massive Persian front line and charged directly into it. His unshakable focus allowed him to shatter the imperial center and send the enemy emperor fleeing in absolute panic. He successfully forged the largest contiguous empire of his era before passing away completely undefeated in battle. His unparalleled combination of aggressive frontline execution and grand strategic vision remains entirely unmatched. These gripping narratives prove that human resourcefulness can shatter the strongest chains on Earth completely. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to Stickman Chronicles right now. See you tomorrow as we upload high-quality history videos every single day without fail.